Welcome to Ahava Kitchens. This is part of Ahava Cakes. I'm the chief baker, Ephantus Waitito. I have my assistant. He can introduce himself.
My name is Daniel Kangara Waitito.
And today we are going to do cinnamon cookies. Everybody allowed love cookies. And now that children are at home for the holidays or over the weekends, you can always go to your kitchen and do cookies. So welcome to Ahava Kitchens once again. I have my assistant here, my fellow baker.
My name is Daniel Kangara Waitito. I live in Kahawa West. I go to Thika Road Christian School, Karibu.
And he's going to be assisting me in the process of baking cookies. So welcome and follow us as we do cookies. So we are going to have our flour. We are going to use margarine. We are going to use sugar. We are going to use baking powder. We are going to use vanilla. And we are going to use cinnamon and egg. We are going to start with our flour. We are going to measure 295 grams of flour. We are going to add baking powder. Then we are going to add cinnamon. I love cinnamon. Daniel, can you mix this? Once we mix them together, we are going to sieve them. Next, we are going to use margarine and sugar. 220 grams of margarine. Then we are going to add 105 grams of sugar. We are going to mix or to beat our sugar and our margarine together before we add egg. And before we mix, it's good we use our spatula or your cooking stick, your mwiko, to mix a little bit. Then we are going to use our hand mixer. We mix a bit. We are done beating our margarine and sugar together. Now we are going to add egg. We are going to use 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So we're going to add our egg inside. Then we mix them together. Now we are going to fold in our flour now. At this point, we are going to clear our table, and we are going to knead our cookies dough. Just the way we do chapatis, we are going to knead it like this. In this one, I'll put cinnamon. In case you want ginger cookies, you put ginger. In case you want other spices cookies, you can easily add them. You're almost done. Once you are done kneading your cookie stuff, now we are going to roll our cookies using the rolling pin. There is your famous chapati rolling pin. Then we are going to have cutters. Today we have different cutters for cutting cookies. I like doing cookies for children, so we are going to cut them in different shapes. Then this is our baking tray. We are going to use this one for putting our cookies into the oven. Now before I start now rolling my dough, I'm going to use the cornstarch to dust the table. It's going to help me to roll my dough. But at this point, it's good to put on your oven. We are going to set the temperature at 200 degrees. Then we make sure all other settings are okay, that this one, air is circulating all over. Then we are going to preheat it for about 10 minutes. So I will leave the oven preheating. Then we go to knead or to prepare our cookies. Here we are. Just going to cut small pieces of our dough. I knead it like this. I dust my table using cornstarch. Using the rolling pin, just roll it. Then we are going to cut small cookies. Can you bring a knife for me in the kitchen? I've started with a tree shape. So it's done. Once we have cut, we pick them. There. There. You have to be very gentle since our dough is very soft. It's softer than the dough for the chapatis. Then can you cut? We have finished cutting our cookies. There's still more dough left. We are going to cut it after this later. But then we have our first bunch of cookies. There is star, there is love, there is a shape of a tree here. So we are going to put them light in the oven. Then we'll cut them. Come this side. This is our oven. It's already preheated. We are going to open the door and slide in our cookies slowly. Then we close the door. Cookies bake very fast because they are small, temperature is very high. Therefore, and so within 20-25 minutes, our cookies should be ready. So we set our oven at 25 minutes. Our oven is very good, it's very cool, or it's very cool because it has a window. You can be viewing through the window how your cookies are behaving. Then once they are ready, we are going to remove them, let them cool, and we are going to enjoy them. Now let's check our cookies. They are ready. Here they are, golden brown cookies at the shape we have cut them. So we are going now to allow them to cool for some time before we can taste them. So we are going to put them here, just under the oven, and we give them some time to cool down. Once they are cool, cookies are usually good when they are stored in an airtight container, because cookies are good when they are in an airtight container, they remain crunchy. Yeah, we are letting our cookies to cool down. Once they are cool, we are going to remove them from our pan, and the cookies will be ready for eating.
Now I am going to taste one of these cookies. Good. Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Can I also taste? Yeah, they're very crunchy. Our homemade cookies. You can try them in your house.